Traveling the world and experiencing different cultures along with witnessing varied landscapes is a dream for many, but most of us don't take the plunge to pack our bags and set out on such a journey. Today's video has no relation to traveling to usual tourist spots around the world. Rather, we want to unravel a few of the most obscure places off the beaten path. Here are 12 of the most mysterious lost worlds on Earth. Before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more amazing content. Here we go! Number 12. Mount RORAIMA, Venezuela, Brazil, Guyana. Our planet is filled with so many natural wonders that you can spend a lifetime visiting them and still not scratch the surface. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. One such site might be in South America, which truly deserves our attention. Mount RORAIMA is a mountain unlike any other. The top portion of RORAIMA is flat and not pointy like most mountains in the world. The flat top encompasses around 31 square kilometers of area, first made known to the outside world by an English pilgrim by the name of Sir Walter Raleigh during an expedition in 1595. Another unique feature of RORAIMA is that it's the tip point of 3 different countries, namely Venezuela, Guyana and Brazil. Geographically, Mount RORAIMA is the highest of the Pacaraima chain of tabletop mountains in South America. This flat-top mountain is essentially like a floating island way up in the heavens. So if you're in search of a mystical spot, Mount RORAIMA might be it. Number 11. Melville Range, Australia. Moving down all the way to Australia is another lost world which has been shaped by Mother Nature over the years. Cape Melville is located on the eastern shore of Cape York Peninsula in Australia. It's essentially a headland, or in other words, a piece of land which is usually high and juts out into a body of water. It was named as Stony Cape by Lieutenant Charles Jeffreys in 1815, and probably named so because of all the stones in the region. That's our guess, at least. The cape isn't exceptionally high, reaching 600 meters above sea level at its highest, but what's fascinating about this area is how it has created a haven for endemic species. Thanks to the environment, the Melville Range has become home for various endemic species of plants and animals. The view here is exceptional as well. This truly is a lost world. Number 10. City of Thonis. Here's a real lost world from ancient times. If you enjoy the tales of the lost city of Atlantis, the city of Thonis is a worthy alternative. Also called Thonis Herakleion, it was an ancient Egyptian port city located near the canopic mouth of the Nile River. During the late period of ancient Egypt, Thonis served as the country's main port for collection of taxes and trading. The port town was most likely established around 8th century BC, and by 8th century AD the city sunk beneath the sea because of earthquakes, tsunamis and rising sea levels. The ruins submerged under the sea were finally located and explored by French underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio in 1999 after a 5-year search. The city has also served as a backdrop of legends. For example, ancient Greek historian Herodotus claims that the city was visited by Paris and Helen of Troy before the Trojan War. What other ancient mysteries are yet to unravel here? Only time will tell. Number 9. BOSAVI Crater, Papua New Guinea. Mountains are majestic and imposing. They have a way of humbling you because in front of them, we're mere specks of dirt walking about. They serve as homes for various wildlife, but if it's a volcano, then it can work the other way and destroy masses of vegetation and the life within it. The BOSAVI crater is kind of a combination of the two. Mount BOSAVI has an elevation of 2,507 meters and is located in the southern highlands of Papua New Guinea. It's an extinct volcano with the last estimated eruption to be around 200,000 years ago. What is left in its place is this collapsed cone of the former volcano. The crater is 4 kilometers wide and 1 kilometer deep. Thanks to its remoteness and inaccessibility, the cone has become a home for various endemic species. From destroying lives during its volcanic days, BOSAVI has literally turned into a cradle of life in present time. How cool is that? Number 8. Chicheng City. Though the lost city of Atlantis has never been found, there is a close substitute for those who wish to experience something similar. The flooded city of Chicheng in China is often called the Atlantis of the East, and you can see why. This mysterious time capsule of a city captures the culture and architecture during Imperial China, with influences from the Ming and Qing dynasty, who ruled between 1368 to 1912. But what makes this city a bit different from the city of Atlantis is the fact that it was never lost. In fact, the city was thriving and alive until the late 1950s, but when the Chinese government started to build a dam, around 300,000 inhabitants of this city were given the boot and were relocated elsewhere. Once the dam was up, the city was flooded to a height of 120 feet with water. The city remained forgotten until 2001, when the government sent out an expedition to check on the forgotten city of Shisheng. To their surprise, the city was still in great condition. Since then, the interest for the Atlantis of the East has been increasing, and many new expeditions are undertaken as well. Ironically, the city probably would have never had the same publicity if it wasn't flooded, so maybe it worked out well for them. Number 7. Lake Vostok, Antarctica. Lake Vostok in Antarctica is a unique place which has allowed all kinds of life to thrive within its icy depths. Covered by thick ice, entry is restricted to researchers who have the necessary tools and equipment to drill through and withstand the frigid cold. Lake Vostok covers an area of 4,830 square miles and has a volume of 5,400 kilometers cube and is the largest of the 400 subglacial lakes in Antarctica. The lake is believed by some to have been covered by ice for the last 25 million years, which has enabled life to thrive in it uninterrupted. There is one common pattern that can be noticed in all of these habitats. As long as it's left alone for thousands of years, you can almost be certain there will be some endemic life thriving. Lake Vostok is one such place. Would you dare take a dive here? Number 6. Çatalhöyük. Ancient cities are vastly different from the ones we are used to now, but they still serve the same purpose for their inhabitants, a place for commerce and living. Çatalhöyük was a large Neolithic and Chalcolithic proto-city settlement in Turkey and thrived around 7000 BC. It existed between 7100 BC and 5700 BC and can be found in the present-day city of Konya. This ancient settlement was deserted before the Bronze Age. Çatalhöyük was founded on the shores of the Sasamba River and thrived thanks to the alluvial mud in the area, which was useful for cultivation. In 2012, the site was added to UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and rightfully so. It's hard to imagine that such a vast civilization existed so far back in time. Makes you wonder how many such ancient cities are yet to be discovered and probably lost under hundreds of feet of dirt. Number 5. Son Doong Cave, Vietnam. Do you like caves? Most will imagine caves to be dark, damp and outright scary, but not all caves are like that. The Son Doong Cave in Vietnam is unlike most caves. The main cave passage is the largest in the world by volume. The cave system is more than 5 kilometers long, 150 meters wide and 200 meters high. The cave features 2 large sinkholes, which has allowed sunlight to penetrate its depths and allows trees to grow deep within. The unique ecosystem in this cave is worth seeing and unlike any other. With a total volume of 38.5 million cubic meters, the Son Doong Cave is an incredible display of what Mother Nature is capable of creating, and it's beautiful on top of that. Would you visit this cave? Number 4. Palawan Highlands, Philippines. Island living is often fantasized by many, and for good reason. Who wouldn't want to wake up to white sandy beaches and to the sound of the ocean waves perpetually crashing onto the shores? The Palawan Island is one of the most serene and beautiful islands on the planet. As of 2016, the main Palawan Island has been voted as the most beautiful island in the world by readers of Condé Nast Traveler and Traveler Leisure. The island has rightfully earned that title since it comes with diverse landscapes filled with mountains, jungles, wildlife, sandy beaches and everything you're looking for in an island. Palawan is spread out over 4,706 square kilometers with a population of around 850,000 people and has maintained a biosphere reserve status since the early 1990s. The island's allure has tempted us to visit. How about you? Number 3. MOVILE Cave. In southeastern Romania, there's a cave that was locked away from the slightest ray of light for an estimated 5.5 million years, and that has a completely different atmosphere from the Earth. The cave was discovered by workers looking to set up a power plant. They tested the ground to see if it was a safe place to build and cracked open a pathway that leads into one of the strangest places on Earth. If you descend through the narrow shaft and past a series of tunnels, you enter a chamber with a lake of sulfuric water stinking of rotten eggs. The air there is toxic, filled with hydrogen sulfide and contaminated with 100 times the surface level of carbon dioxide. The strangest part, though, is that a whole ecosystem has survived inside. Researchers have found 33 species inside the cave that don't exist anywhere outside of it. They've adapted to survive in a sulfuric atmosphere, living by feeding off a foam on top of the stones. Number 2. Challenger Deep Mariana Trench, Western Pacific. Some of the least explored parts of our planet are the oceans. Fathoms of unexplored territory lie in wait for us to discover. But we did uncover one of the biggest mysteries of the deep sea. The Challenger Deep is the deepest known spot in the seabed. It's located in the Western Pacific Ocean near the Mariana Islands and 200 miles southwest of the U.S. territory of Guam. The deepest point is between 35,768 to 35,856 feet as measured by deep diving submersibles, which are remotely controlled. The Mariana Trench itself, which houses the Challenger Deep, is more than 43 miles wide and 1,500 miles long. You can in fact hide the entire Mount Everest in the Mariana Trench and still have enough room for 1 mile to top it off. Luckily, we have the technology which allows humans to undertake deep-sea exploration. But even so, you need guts to take part in such an exploration. Do you have what it takes to venture into the depths of the ocean? Before moving on to number 1, here is an interesting image. The photo was first leaked by an archaeologist by the name of Craig, but not much is known apart from that. It looks like a massive city under the desert. Craig hasn't given much information except for the fact that the area is protected. The only thing we can ponder upon is where on earth is this mysterious ghost town, and what happened to its inhabitants? What are your guesses? Number 1. Cima Humboldt and Cima Martel, Venezuela. Sinkholes are incredible features that are seldomly seen in terrains, but some of them are so vast that you can't help but feel a little anxious. Cima Humboldt and Cima Martel are two of the largest sinkholes located on the highest point of Suriname Tepui in Bolivar State, Venezuela. First discovered by a pilot named Harry Gibson in 1961, Cima Humboldt has an incredible volume of 18 million cubic meters and a max width of 352 meters at the top and 502 meters at the bottom. Cima Martel is only 700 meters from Cima Humboldt, and there are 4 other such sinkholes in this region. Imagine peering down one of these. Just the thought gives me the goosebumps. And there you go, 12 of the most mysterious lost worlds on Earth. Are you familiar with any of these locations? Let us know in the comments what you think of them. Before we let you go, be sure to hit the like button, share and subscribe. Later.